Just got a new rig, new setup here, so it's, like everything else new, it's going to take a bit of time to learn how to manage and properly use all the tools and features available. So it really fits in with everything right about now. It's a learning process. Scorpio, full moon, yada yada. If you hear, you already know pretty much. If you don't, well, we'll keep it layman's. You know what I'm saying? We'll keep it real simple to understand, but definitely encourage everybody to know thyself, which is knowing your chart, and knowing your chart is getting used, getting familiar with astrology. It's not hard. It can be very fun, but it's a lot. You know what I'm saying? With that being said, Sweet Revenge. Sweet Revenge. It was a pink moon, and every time I think of pink in this Taurus energy, I get the Venusian, that love energy. And I don't know if y'all saw the Jaguar Wright video, but it's kind of like Sweet Revenge. You know what I'm saying? With everything coming to light, and not only that, it's like, and I'm sure a lot of us can really relate to this, who have been doing like spiritual work, especially if you're like one of the first in your family, right? You somehow broke code or tradition. People been calling you crazy for years, kind of thing. What you doing? What is this strange? You know what I'm saying? It's the devil's work, all that fly shit, right? And for people like Jaguar Wright, this is Sweet Revenge, which is very much one of those Scorpio qualities. You know what I'm saying? They can hold a grudge now and will not forget that shit or let it go. That's that fixed energy. Kind of like Taurus. Once we don't like you, that's it. You know what I mean? There's no coming back. It's fixed once the decision is made. And the Hierophant has been coming out a lot, which is Taurus energy, which is about making a commitment. And to further that, it's about making a commitment to a journey you can't really see in front of you. You can't really map it out because it's unfamiliar. It's new territory. And now we're in the dream spell, or the wave spell of the Blue Knight, which is the dreams. You know what I'm saying? And the abundance of possibilities of dreams. Endless. The imagination, basically, and weaving the two worlds together. Let's see what we got today. We got the Queen of Clubs. Okay, we're gonna sit that right on top of Scorpionaut. So I got Scorpionaut out for the moon, RC for the pink moon. I got Tarantulas for that. We are in the 8th year. The spider, the writer, being in the center of your web, and of course Mr. Pluto over there with the wrecking ball going to work, for battle trap. So this fits right in with one of Tahuti's laws, the law of correspondence. Well, let's see if we can get this straight. We're gonna figure it out. We're gonna get it all together. I don't like that blank space up there. But that's alright. We start drawing on the new board, we'll fill it in as we go. But that's the energy, filling it in as you go, using your intuition, being very present, very in the moment, committed to the journey itself, whatever that journey may be, whatever is coming up for you or possibly coming up for you. With Taurus season, it just feels like it's time for things to be, those ideas, those Aries aspirations, all that fertility to be planted in fertile soil. I.e., what do I do with these ideas? How do I manage these ideas in order for them to grow? You know what I'm saying? These seeds. Because the playing field is being clear right now. There's really no looking the other way anymore, or denying what's going on around you or inside of you. You know what I'm saying? So with all that being in mind, this is the moon of the sweet revenge. That's what I like to call it, the sweet revenge. And as this playing field gets clear, it's going to open the way for a lot of, true talent, integrity to step forward, wholehearted, all kinds of, you know what I mean? All kinds of positive things that probably weren't so abundant on the last leg of the journey or the last chapter. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, how you doing, Britt? I'm really playing with this, and I got the little washboard. I took it out the other day, and I was doing some live art out there, but I didn't have a good marker, so it's one of them things where now I got to really take stock of what I need. It's a whole new ball game. You know what I'm saying? And I'm Team Decepticon all day, so we can get one up in there. But yeah, being very much in the moment, being very incorruptible in your spirit, meaning that that integrity. If you ever watch Star Trek, they used to say whole integrity is decreasing by 50%. That's just the integrity of the ship to hold together, or the idea, or the belief system, or what's in your heart to hold it under duress and stress, kind of like the diamond. Ooh, excuse me. Well, we can't really use that, so we gotta evolve, right? So a lot of this is also with these dreams, taking old dreams or imaginations and expanding on them. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I put my love of music with this, so I put some headphones on there or some shit. But we're not using logic this time as the barometer. We're using the heart, and we'll give them a little news like that or something. I don't know. We'll keep playing with it. We'll eventually come up with our own, insignia for the channel. But it's just step by step process. There's no rush, and I'm gonna take my time and enjoy it, which I encourage everybody in this new era to do. Please take your time. Learn a thing from Taurus right about now. Because once the decisions are made, with that fixed energy, it's in the books, and it's great that we don't have Mercury retrograde all up in the mix like it is. Even though we are going to be in the shadow for a minute, and for a lot of people, that's when shit really jump off. That's when you get the call from the super X. You know what I'm saying? Or the really, this shit you can't really ignore. Usually be in these shadow phases. So don't don't get caught off guard out here now. Your awareness is everything. So with that being said, Sweet Revenge. It was about us maintaining who we are, that integrity. Not fighting our enemy's fight, but fighting our fight. Using our own inner power, our own imagination, our own creativity, i.e. doing the work. You know what I'm saying? Doing the work is not always a chore. You understand what I'm saying? It's not always a chore. As things are revealed step by step. This is about being in tune with the universe, the universal song. You know what I'm saying? This is it's one of those things where you don't have to be a reader or anything like that. You don't have to know any of this shit. I know plenty of people who they just go about their business, but they are extremely tapped in, and there's nothing you can attribute to it to give it credit except their own following their own intuition at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? And then maybe a little bit later they bump into something and it's like a big ass confirmation, and they finally see that this talent has always been there, but they never really looked at it like that. It's really a discovery. This is what the sun is here. It's illuminating so many things, because out of the darkness, you shine a light in the darkness, and if Scorpio ain't the darkest shit you've ever seen in your chart, then I invite you to find something darker than that. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about American horror films. You know what I'm saying? Texas Chainsaw Massacre shit. A lot of resentment, built up energy. You know, Scorpio can hold grudges. So this is really that time of releasing the negative traits that you may possess of Scorpio, wherever part of your chart, or just in life in general. You know, those negative traits and taking on the positive. You had to experience both sides of things. You had to get your ass kicked to know the satisfaction of victory. You know what I mean? And look at that. Good old Ten of Pentacles. Talk about self-reliant, talking about the fruits of your labor. You know what I mean? This is a little bit different than your 40 hours plus at the JO. This is about the intentions that you plant and becoming self-sufficient in those. We're getting rid of the codependency of things. You know what I mean? Being codependent on this or that, whether it be people, family, whatever. It could be drugs and alcohol, a need of something. The Scorpio's whole mantra is I possess. You know what I mean? Being possessed by the things you possess. That materialism, getting that from across the way from Taurus in a lower vibration, right? But what a time to start thriving on your gifts, your talents, your intelligence, your experience, your know-how. Um, so with the system as it is, we're in that shaky economy. I met a brother the other day who does houses, and he was talking about how low key we are in a recession. Of course, we know this, right? We damn sure are in a recession. But if you're a student of history, you know one thing: history tends to repeat itself. And with that being said, this is around, every recession is when there's billionaires and millionaires are made during the time of recessions because the market is so tight, so thin. This is when the genius steps forth. This is when we start stepping into that Aquarian energy. Well, how can I make lemonade, out of limes? You know what I'm saying? Like really pushing the borders and boundaries of what is to shake up the norm. That's what Pluto is doing over there, in that in Aquarius with that generational kind of feel. Really, really setting new trends, even the way we speak, because we're going to have Jupiter go into Gemini about a little under a month now. So we're winding down on the expansion of Taurus, which is right across from Scorpio. You know what I'm saying? And shoot, we had the Uranus Jupiter conjunction around the same time. So things were expanded, things were unexpected, things came out the blue. You know what I'm saying? And they still will. You know what I mean? Nobody said that Jaguar Wright was going to be on again, kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? That popped up on the feed. I was like, oh shit, she got part two. You know what I mean? But she went about her business with that wrecking ball. But it was sweet revenge because now that the truth is coming out to support all the truth that she's been speaking throughout her life, even her own experiences, now people are starting to see the receipts for it. You understand what I'm saying? So in a not so public and social media way, maybe in our lives, like I said, family, friends thought you were crazy for going off on your own. Lovers, everybody kind of having something to say about you wanting to go on a new journey for yourself, a journey of self-discovery. You know what I mean? See what you're made of, not going with the flow. Again, that rebel energy or that pirate energy. Ha. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting my peg leg transformer up in there. Huh? Thundertron, you know what I'm saying? Again, more of that Pluto energy that, well, you ain't gonna stand up there. Plus, I got angle him kind of right to get that peg leg of his going. All right, there we go. But, yeah, we'll just lift this up. That'll be easy. That'd be easy enough. See, coming up with solutions in the moment. Okay, I see how I do that. But that's what it's going to be about. Your experience and your wisdom is going to help you make the correct choices moving forward with this internal guidance system, this Queen of Clubs energy. It's my Marie Laveau card. Being here in Louisiana, it's funny. I've met people even they've never heard of this woman. Never. And I'm like, well, that's like almost being an NBA fan and not knowing Magic Johnson. You know what I'm saying? But again, even with her story, it was pretty much the same. She came up from the bottom. You know, her times were different. The same shit that's happening with Diddy and them, that's been happening. You know what I'm saying? And she was one of those young women who were abused when they were younger. You know what I'm saying? And had a couple kids. You know what I'm saying? But her intelligence, and that's another thing with the Queen of Clubs, is about the mind. She was very intelligent. She would sit in the sewing yards and she would listen to everybody talk. She was one of the quiet ones, you know what I'm saying? The people in the cut. The ones you really shouldn't poke the bear kind of people, you know what I mean? It's always the quiet ones. And she would listen to everybody's. And this is the information I got from the guard in front of Marie Laveau's gravesite, quote unquote gravesite. This is just the place they attributed. This is only where the casket or whatever is, the mausoleum. And his whole thing was to discredit the whole spiritual side of it. But for me, it was just getting two sides of the story together. You know what I'm saying? But the other side of it is, yes, very intuitive. She worked with the herbs. She worked with nature. You feel what I'm saying? She worked with the ancestors. You can't tell me she didn't. You know what I mean? Coming out there in the middle of the square with a snake and start dancing, kind of shit. Again, a rebel in her time. You know, against the grain, but nonetheless very powerful in her own right. Imagine if there was about 5 or 6 of her running around the same area and they happened to link up. You know what I'm saying? And this is another thing about this time. Kindred spirits. All right. And I guess we'll call this the medicine or the what holds this all together is temperance. It's temperance, you know, knowing when to sit your ass down and take a break. You know what I'm saying? One of the things I've learned this year, you know, fidgeting a whole day, not holding a pen or a pencil, that's like ludicrous, you know what I'm saying? But getting used to the idea of ease and relaxing as a part of the journey instead of this constant grind. Um, Being assertive and being gentle, you know what I'm saying? And being very interchangeable in whatever exchange I'm in, you know what I'm saying? But matching the energies, temperance, very much in the moment, having access to your light and your dark simultaneously, and using, you know, both in tandem when you need to. And it gets back to the heart with love. You know, love sometimes is it's all gooey and mushy and sweet and tender, but then it gets to the part where your love of self will have you speak up for yourself, to defend yourself, to speak your truth takes heart. You know what I'm saying? And that's what's see, we got the circle here. I'm gonna do something with that. Oops. Oops. I don't know. Let me see. Let me see something here. Let me move you out the way. Because now I'm seeing something in the camera. Let me get this out the way. I got my little circle. Yeah, you've been feeling that too, huh? Uh, and it feels like my downtime is getting ready to come to an end. We got Jazz Fest in town starting tomorrow, and this is when the world comes to Louisiana and celebration. You know, they got Earth, Wind, and Fire out this bitch. They got all these big ass Queen Latifahs out here, and a lot of the newer, uh, you know, popular, but a whole lot of jazz, whole lot of jazz. People you ain't never heard of in your life, but it just be off the chain. Great music, great time. So what a time to get out there and you know, promote my damn self. And this is what this Pentacles is about. You know, this is like this is now my like my LLC card. You know what I mean? Keeping up with the times. You know what I'm saying? This is self-employed. Definitely self-employed, but self-sufficient. It could even be a side hustle, but whatever it is, it comes from within. And there's no one there to be the middleman to your rewards. You know what I'm saying? It's all coming from you, unless you have partners or whatnot. But still, It's something that was created outside of the system. You know what I mean? So let me clarify the Temperance, this Pentacles, and this Club, and we can yeah. If they come out in reverse, they come out in reverse. We're not gonna do. Oh, look at that shit. Oh, look at that shit. So I know what I'm gonna do real quick. I'm gonna go back to the old stand and keep the light. You know what I'm saying? Keep the light. Get that off of there, so we can really see. I wanna really be able to see all these cards. I want y'all to be able to see them too. Bang, 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 bang. Some of the old stuff does still work very well. Feel me? But let's get the company with the new. So that newfound reliance of self. There's no apology for it. It's a very unapologetic. It's very unapologetic. And it's not a temporary fix. You know what I'm saying? This is something long term. Taurus season, my goodness, what a great time to invest and start saving for your legacy with the energy of Taurus in the building, which is also Venusian energy, Hathor energy. We're nurturing the seeds now. Now that you have an inkling or a direction or a feel, or if we're just talking about ourselves, how are we nurturing ourselves moving forward? You know what I'm saying? Less time on social media with all the BS. A nice little walk in the park every day, 5-10 minutes, putting something new on there that really helps you stay in this energy right here. Because now that we got here, it's about the maintenance of it all. And during this time, this is where supreme healing is happening. I'm talking on the subconscious level, as above, so below, but the subconscious level. And not only that, the memories. The water here represents the memories as well. You know what I mean? Things coming to the surface. This is in line with the Scorpio moon that we're experiencing right now. Bang, bang, bang. And this Queen of Wands in reverse is more about not being so fast. And this is pretty much the patience I was talking about. You know what I mean? It's not really a thinking game, it's a feeling game, but you want to take the time to feel things out. To really get the as much as you can, you know what I'm saying, the information you can, but not jumping into things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? You want to make sure you're pointing the spear in the right direction. And today's card, or today's mind oracle, is the White World Bridger. I'll tell you a real quick story because I knew it was today, but I kind of didn't pay attention to it till I got to the store real quick. Grabbed me some stuff out of the store, and there was a man on the bench, and they were, EMS had came, and they're trying to resuscitate him, but he had a white shirt on, and he looked like he was about to check out of here. I said, "Oh shit, this motherfucker is the White World Bridger right about now," which is about transitioning from one state to another, point blank. Period. It could be a change of address, change of jobs, relationship status, any, and from this world to the next as well. You know what I'm saying? Let's not be funny, but this is a rebirth. The opportunity to grow or step outside of oneself or one's old role in this thing called life. Master the role. It's time to take on a new role. You know what I'm saying? And the reason I said to keep it slow, not to jump to any conclusions, is because it's about seizing opportunities, but the right opportunity. It's a great thing to have uh, options right now, as many as you can find in many different directions. You know what I'm saying? Without scattering yourself too thin, especially if you're looking still for something new to gravitate towards that really moves your heart. But even if you found that particular field or that method of expression, it's still about exploring it totally, you know what I mean, and not limiting yourself. If you wanted to do a residency as an artist, well, why just check out your hometown? Why not travel somewhere? You know what I'm saying? That kind of energy. And having all these opportunities and having the time to really feel once all this information is gathered, to see which one makes you the happiest, which one moves your heart. And I think for a lot of us, because of our conditioning, we are really going to know what that is when it comes along, if it's not already here. Mm-hmm. Yeah, buddy. Relationships with others, relationship with self, most importantly. And this is about taking a chance on yourself as well. And it'd be kind of, it's almost contradictory. Taurus energy plays it safe. You know what I mean? Making sure there's a bag in the backyard, a couple of treasure chests buried, different places kind of thing. Having that security. So these are some of the things we can ask ourselves, but at the same time, taking a risk on you, taking a chance on yourself. You know what I mean? The bigger the risk, the bigger the reward kind of energy. And that comes from the dreams. That comes from this wave spell. What do you believe you're capable of at this time? We're not playing it safe. We're not dreaming small. And we're not going to pick the first thing that comes. We're going to let a couple things pile up so we can sort through and see who or what has the best offer for us at this time. You know what I mean? And being open to taking on something new. Most definitely. You know what I'm saying? A learning experience, you want to grow. So if you've been in childcare like myself for the last 20 years, I don't want to do that shit no more. You know what I'm saying? As far as an occupation, if I take another job, I don't want to do that anymore. I've already been down that road. I've already mastered that kind of modality. So how about this time, you really invest more in what you're good at this time? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, this is the energy of today, all day. And like I said, dude, he looked like he was just in the middle of transitioning right out of here when he was sitting on that bench before the EMS showed up. And the thing that I'm now, and as I think about it, that was kind of beautiful. He didn't look resistant to it at all. It was everybody else trying to keep him upright till the EMS came and, give him water and all this shit. But he was kind of like, you know what I mean? I know what it is, kind of energy is what I kind of felt off of that. You know what I'm saying? And it's no big deal, for the immortal soul. You gonna find me somewhere up in this bitch. You know what I mean? It's not over. And this is part justice. Follow me here, because her hands kind of look like the scales, especially with those lily pads in there. Kind of look like scales. And that is kind of like that leveling the playing field and sweet revenge I was talking about earlier in reference to Jaguar and her new segment that she was just on. What is it? The Street Stars, I believe. Yeah, Street Stars. But there's healing in all that. There's healing in telling your story. You know what I'm saying? And being very vocal and very honest about it. Uh, she's another one of those people who, for me, do not look like what they've been through because of energy like this. Even if it was an out of balance moment, there was a comeback, a bounce back, a realization. You know what I'm saying? A coming to terms with self. Instead of the industry, let's go independent. You know what I'm saying? We really gotta be mindful before we start signing contracts and things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? Making sure you get all the details. But also, just the feeling. I'm gonna put my stuff out there with any interview I have, as far as what I want and what I will require to be a part of said, if I even decide to do that, right? But I'm gonna go with my feeling based on the people I encounter. I'm going to use my intuition. I'm going to listen to the words that they say. I'm going to see how their mind works. So while they think they're interviewing me, I'm going to be doing the interviewing. And I'm going to set the tone where it's not going to be as apparent, but I'm going to get my answers. You know what I'm saying? Talking about the art of seduction here, which is a great book to read on so many levels. The bounce back, yeah. That's one of my favorite phrases, the bounce back. What is your bounce back? It's not how high you climb that really counts anymore. It's how high you bounce back when your ass hit the floor. You know what I'm saying? What is that? And moving forward, having something like that in the tuck and fine tuning that so that this is not a, well, first of all, it's not a recurring process that you got to keep getting up, especially if it's something you're doing to yourself, but or allowing to happen in your life. You know what I'm saying? That's the beauty of a Scorpio. We get to the root ball of that kind of issue and extract it and replace it with something else. So it's just something to keep mindful. The sun is shining, the water is going to rain down and nourish. It's just about making sure that the seeds, the proper seeds, are or were planted in the proper environment and maintaining that. And since we can't make a flower grow in a day and sit there and watch it, it's kind of like taking new notes, you know what I'm saying? Who knows? People think it's just the humans and whatever else is running around here evolving. Well, I'm pretty sure nature is getting a pretty good hit as well. You know what I mean? Who knows what these relationships are going to start looking like? More of that Booker T. Washington shit with the peanuts. This nigga was in touch with these peanuts, like literally. You know what I'm saying? You have to be communicating on some kind of level. But that's pretty much it for tonight. The other thing to remember is now that we're in Taurus season, and we still have a remnant of this retrograde, the senses, not the senses that when they come to your house and check to see if you are Indian or black and all that other shit, right? That should be funny as hell. But the senses, the five major ones, or what they call the five major ones, which most people agree is just touch, you know what I'm saying, at the end of the day. But I've noticed I've had so many encounters with the sense of smell that remind me of things beyond this experience. You understand what I'm saying? So the senses, activating your senses, the sense of touch, soft and hard. It's like getting a good massage this time around. Eating a new kind of food, or maybe there's a smell, a type of food that reminds you of a place where you're you know what I mean, where you've been. It kind of jogs a memory, brings something back, and it'll all be relevant to the past. It's not just going to be some haphazard shit. You know what I'm saying? It's meant to jog the memory and also help you build new ones. You know what I mean? Your senses. Yeah, taking senses of the senses. How about that? Consensus of the senses, kind of thing. Ooh, I forgot that was on. I'm surprised that. Okay, cool. My Bluetooth. Yeah, but that's the energy of it all right about now. Now it's a good time to really, for those of us who are kind of in that in between state, waiting for the seeds to start sprouting and all that good stuff. In the meantime, personal care is on fucking deck. Venetian energy all day. The luxury of life. Pamper yourself a little bit here and there if you can afford it, kind of thing. Um, Intimacy. You know what I'm saying? Real intimacy. The sensuality and all that other stuff. Great love making, soft, slow music. You know what I'm saying? Some oldies or some classics, stuff like that at this time. And then moving on as the retrograde energy kind of dissipates, it'll get back to, catching up more modern times and acting upon those Aquarian kind of visions as well. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Let me see. Did I miss anything? Nope. You're good. Thank you. Who else is out here? Temperance. Thank you. And these cards. Yeah, unapologetically. And definitely out of the age of emotional immaturity. You know what I'm saying? We're not in the schoolyard anymore. But at the same time, we are, if that makes sense. You still have to have that open, childlike essence. But the way it shows up is very mature now. You know what I'm saying? This is just being a big kid with, taking care of your responsibilities, kind of thing. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that Knight of Cups came out. I don't know. It was kind of in the reverse. I don't know. And this is kind of like where we're at with it. Decision time. Some people will walk away. I guess some people won't. It's really about how you feel. Do you have the strength to take on a new endeavor? You know what I'm saying? Are you ready for something new? Are you ready to be uncomfortable? Or are you cool with where you're at? You know what I mean? No shade, no judgment. It is what it is. So I'm going to get one last one, and then we're going to be out of here. Enjoy the silence of this full moon. My God. And just side note, full moons, you know what I mean? It's really not a good time, so they say. You know what I mean? You're your own autonomous being. Do whatever the hell you want. Full moons generally are when we're full, when we've had our fill, when we've done all the work. We're letting everything digest now. All the lessons, all the review of the Mercury retrograde. This is perfect timing because we really get to really peer into the soul. Let's see what our hearts really desire, what our truth really is. So it's not really a time of taking anything in that's brand new until energy clears in. And it's such a contradiction going on, but it kind of bounces back and forth. It really does. And that's why that temperance is there. As well as that King of Clubs. You know what I mean? Knowing when to move and, feeling when it's time to just take a break. I swear, because today was a beautiful day. I could have got right on that cab and took artwork somewhere, but I know what the week is going to be like. And me and Spirit was just in here like, nope, take this day to just enjoy yourself. You enjoying you, you know what I'm saying? And getting a little bit of extra rest and you know what I'm saying, making sure all the band-aids that you took off, everything is healing up. So yeah, the last card. Huh, how about that? The Judgment, the Awakening. You're not going to know who or what it looks like until you get to the other side of it all. Stepping through that doorway. You know what I mean? And that Judgment card is pretty much backing up what I was saying about whether or not you want to go through the door or not. You know what I'm saying? In the first place. On the highest octave, this is a person who's really coming into their own, and not only that, are starting to integrate from different timelines. You know what I'm saying? That kind of energy. Seeing how much, just how cosmic an MFer is at this time. But on the slide scale, you know what I'm saying, going down on some this could be where not really holding anything against other people, but judging oneself too harshly. There's a lot of that going on too. It's just something to be aware of. You know, that self-talk gets in your head and you feel like you're condemning yourself. Well, that's the quickest way to block your blessings and everything like that. You know what I'm saying? So, we have the temperance already, man. All right. And strength came out. Yeah, yeah. This is surrendering. This is surrendering. Just surrender to it. You know what I mean? Just surrender to it. You ain't gotta fight it. Don't go kicking and screaming like my man today. He was just nodding his ass right off on that bench. You know what I mean? He wasn't fighting it. He actually seemed like he was the calmest person in the room, even though it looked like his time was up. But something maybe in his soul and his spirit was just really cool with it being time to go. You know? It's kind of like the situation here. I am cool with leaving this situation. You know, there's no real attachment to it. I've made sure that I've cut those kind of cords that would keep me bound to a place where I know I can do better. You understand what I'm saying? It's that kind of energy. But rather than force things, I'm going to surrender to the flow because my intentions are already out there, and however that shows up, based on those intentions, is what we gonna act on. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna let the universe do the cooking. It's like being at grandma's house, and all you do for the next 2 hours is smell some really great shit coming out the oven. Can't see it, can't taste it, but you can damn sure smell it. You know what I mean? You know it's gonna be a great meal. So, yeah. And then we did a little wordplay too here, Brett, for the hookah lounge. I like the idea of the owl. I don't know why it was coming. I heard an owl earlier today. I thought it was a little strange. It's like 2 in the afternoon, and I hear this owl. So we turn these little two O's into an owl, and then we put an H in the front, and now we got the hookah lounge, which is a lot more in line with everything going on over here right about now. You know what I'm saying? And then also the ka, and we keep the H phonetically, but we're damn sure looking deeper into what it is that we're doing. We're adding more value and meaning on top of things, defining the shit for ourselves. I've never seen no shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Even with the breakdown of it, you know what I mean? So this is the kind of creative genius we are all tapping into. Hopefully, you know what I'm saying? Hopefully, you know what I mean? Or the hookah lounge, yeah. That's a good word you say. And you see how many different ways it can really take on form. You know what I'm saying? Who's to say who's right and what's wrong? Yeah, the Kai, you know what I'm saying? So even and this is what I mean by finding intuition. It might not make sense in the exact moment, but you gotta roll with it because it'll start to reveal itself just because you're on that path and trusting in it. You know what I mean? So who knows? Next couple of weeks, I'll have a nice logo for myself. You know what I mean? Absolutely. Because I didn't know why that owl was there today, but the fact that I heard it and I acknowledged it, and then was in here doing this a little bit later on, I was like, oh, you know what I'm saying? It's like two and two are now going together. Let's roll with it and just see what happens. Let's be the mad scientist with this thing, and really put some life to it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so the hookah lounge is taking on a whole nother meaning, and I know what I'm gonna do too for the logo. Once I get my transformer insignia together, I'm gonna have it mirror that Decepticon one down there, but put the little hookah joints right here now. You know what I'm saying? Like he got all the smoke. Put a little puff cloud down there for him. You know what I mean? That's for all my thugs in the hood. Yeah, and it's been a while. I don't think I've heard an owl since the first night I got down here. You know what I'm saying? And there was one right outside in the tree, right outside the window, all night long. Really nice ASMR kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that owl. And there's some underworld too. There's some underworld energy for your ass. But the thing about the owl, I'll tell you right now, what I'm getting off that is about moving in silence. These are one of the few creatures who fly that you won't ever see it coming. You won't ever hear this motherfucker coming. It's on your ass, and you'll never know it's there. I've seen the owl the size of like the roof of a, with the wings out, the size of a damn top of a car, fly right over my head, and it was only because I happened to look up. But this thing, I didn't even hear it. It was one of the moments where you just like, oh my god, I'm so glad I'm not a mouse. You know what I mean? That'd have been my ass, kind of shit. And just the mere size of it not making noise is a little bit, could have been a little offsetting at that time. So that out energy of moving in silence now is a really good message as well with that energy there, Britt. Don't let anybody know your next moves. Keep this relationship very personal between you and what it is that you really hold true to, as far as the universe, the creation. You know what I'm saying? Things that have your back that are unseen for the time being, anyway. Right? Who knows? Yeah, you know what I mean. You don't want to be preyed on or prayed for or none of that. None of that praying shit. You know what I mean? The Divine calendar teaches self-generation. And that's what this year is also teaching us with that 8 energy. What goes around comes around. What goes around come around. Oh, I'm sorry. Shit. Anybody want a card while we here? Anybody want a card? I'm here for it. This is the Who-kah Lounge, right? Yeah, Britt. And part of that was the eclipse energy. Part of that was all this shit. Especially if you're been following the wave spells. It's been geared for this time, for these kind of changes. Like, you can't make it up, and it's so exact. You just know there's a higher intelligence behind all this. Whether it just be your higher self and everybody else is kind of commingling, you know what I'm saying, in the ethers, whatever, whatever. But there's some cold calculated shit going on out here. You feel me? Because this is definitely a strange time. Desperate times bring desperate measures, kind of thing. There's a lot of hungry people out here. The recession is real, whether they broadcast it or not. So, the less people know about what you're doing, the less resistance you'll have energetically. For one, won't have nobody cast no evil eyes on the shit you're doing. But it's really about. It's not even about everybody else. It's about your creations. You show them when you're done, kind of shit. You know what I mean? I can show you better than I can tell you, kind of energy. So let the let the riffraff sort themselves out. You know what I'm saying? Let the playing field level out a little bit more. I don't even deal with social medias right now. I'm telling you, the thing to watch right now and to be watching and to be mindful of is nature. The weather. You know what I'm saying? We got all kinds of shit. I mean, that Uranus and Taurus ain't going nowhere for a minute. Jupiter is, but we're talking about all these earthquakes and volcanoes and landslides. Motherfuckers got videos of coyotes running down your block. You know what I'm saying? You thought them raccoons and alley cats was in your trash. You thought that was a problem. You know what I'm saying? You go out there and they ate your dog and your alley cat kind of shit. You know what I mean? All right, Britt. Let me see what we got for you. Let's see what we got for you. The white wind, really good. And that's really perfect for you. Remember, that's not no mosquito. You about to get it on. Okay. Whew. If ain't no mosquito, you can ride. I'll let you out later. The white wind definitely is shit. You know what I'm saying? Just howling and shit on a park bench. Like, you know what I mean? It gives me flashbacks to what was that movie? I Am Legend. That Will Smith joint. You know what I'm saying? You got lions running down Main Street kind of shit. With the white wind, this is definitely what I was talking about. How that lines up with we were just kind of going through. It's a silent communication, but this is between you and spirit. You know what I'm saying? The expansion and the contraction of the breathing. You know, in and out kind of thing. What goes in must come. You know, all that fly shit. But this is also the way you communicate to the outside world. And it has a lot more to do than just speech. We're talking body language. We're talking about all the languages. You know what I'm saying? Sign language. Like that whole body language is deep. You know what I'm saying? You can learn a lot from a person just watching their mannerisms. And they'll tell on themselves. The body never lies. You know what I'm saying? Let's see what you got after that. And then look at that. You got the yellow sun after that. Hey, hey. Talk about enlightenment. So this is definitely in line with you know what. Since we move into silence, you know how this resonates with you right here. You put these two together, that's a powerhouse. But it's a two-way street too. You understand what I'm saying? This is definitely a two-way street. Give me a clarifier with the symptom like that. Let's see if we got any minors that come out that kind of add into this. It'd be just for you. Let's see what we got. And it's good, you know, I like to inform people today because you get to experience the energy of what it's like. You don't have to wait for that day to utilize it as a tool. You understand what I'm saying? You could take on that energy any time, but you still have to have the experience of it, what it looks like, what it feels like, and how it works in your world. And then you can really put it to use. Especially if that's a card you've been seeing lately or it really resonates with you at this time. You know what I heard right now? Especially with this retrograde, this is an old school song with Brand Nubian. Slow down. What I am is what I am. Slow down. And just that part. It ain't all the other, you know what I'm saying? Because that's always bad. But it's an example of real hip hop. You understand what I'm saying? It came from a special, like Brand Nubian wasn't no joke. They wasn't up there just saying shit to say shit. They was teaching up there. You know what I'm saying? They were dropping the science on shit, and just being very real with who they were individually. You know what I mean? Yeah, I love some Brand Nubian. Punks jump up to get beat. I had that shit on wax too. Oh my god! I hope mom still got it in them crates back in Philly. Hey, I got that shit on wax. You know what I mean? Yeah, that whole vibe. It's definitely giving a vibe here. You know what I'm saying? A different kind of aura with these cards right here, and you know that would be right side up. Yeah, and a magician. So you already know. I ain't gotta tell you nothing. I ain't gotta tell you nothing. How I would sum that up is just simply the crock pot. Some well marinated, seasoned shit. You know what I'm saying? Some wholesome, tasty, nutritious doo doo. You feel me? Yeah. And then this is your reminder of where it all comes from. Taking on that energy. This is just allowing. This is part of the surrender part of the reading as well that we had earlier, and just letting it work through your heart. It's like becoming the vessel for the divine. No pressure, right? No pressure. No pressure. Slow down. What I am is what I am. Right. Right. What I am is what I am. Say it with your chest. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And more of that input energy. The input. What you put in is what you get out. And that feels more in the line of like an affirmation. You know what I'm saying? For this time period, I mean, you could ride this card the whole year and just mix it in with whatever the current energy is. For right now, this would be like with that Scorpio energy. You let the shadow out on a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? You let the shadow out on him. You know what I mean? That kind of energy. But it also speaks to the legacy of things. You know, the legacy of hip hop. Whether we realize it or not, if you're still living and breathing and you do that thing, it's in your hands right about now. I don't care if you got a label or not. You know what I mean? It's not even really about that. It never was. It was just about the creative expression. And it just happens that, the things we touch turn to gold. But this time around, especially with the whole No Diddy and how the industry as a whole, has been constructed and crafted, how it was pretty much stolen. You know what I'm saying? We know what to do with it now going forward. We know the contracts. We know what we need to sign with. We know ownership. You know what I'm saying? All that fly shit. So we won't have to go through no silver age again. Some bullshit. Watered down ass trap beat shit. I done heard that motherfucker 3 different times in 5 minutes, but with some different preschool speaker spell hook on top of it or some shit. You know what I mean? When hip hop should have been involved to almost back to classical music, but with a hot ass rhythm. You know what I mean? You can't predict what's coming down the line, kind of shit. Or more in line with jazz. Put some African drums back in the back of that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? The legacy of it all. Yeah, but you pretty good there. You pretty good there. That chair will flip sooner than later. Don't even worry about that. Right now, just slow down for a minute. And I think that's really so you can have these conversations, really get in touch with it all. Receiving instructions. Oh, the dream realm. That's what I was going to say. The dream realm with the Scorpio energy in this. Getting messages in your dream. We are in that blue night after all. So your dreams, make sure you're getting some rest up in this bitch. Okay? And setting intentions before you sleep. Especially if there's things you want to know or, you know what I'm saying? Personal questions. Moving forward kind of energy. Just being inquisitive as a child. Yeah, but you, it should be easy. Aquarius, I know I'm going to get the answer. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I don't think this is anything you really don't know. I think this is more so your spirit really reminding you what's important right now. And giving you a few breadcrumbs here and there. There might be more in here for you just gazing, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Bang, 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 bang. That's a nice lineup right there. She. And again, this is more about a cycle wrapping up too with that yellow sun. That's that completion of said course. So like I said to Brewster the other day. I said, "You ready to be out? Giving us this downtime for a reason, because we about to be shot out the cannon. Metaphorically speaking, we about to get shot out the cannon, and right now it's about lining up the shot. Yeah, that is pretty much cosmic royal flush. Yeah, you can't be mad about that. You can't be mad about that at all. Um, Since nobody else. Well, I do see two in the room. I don't know who else is in here if they want a card, but you're more than welcome. All you have to do is, closed mouths don't get fed around here. Just put it in the chat. Be more than welcome to pull a couple cards if you need some answers or some clarity on something. But I'm gonna something saying going on this chariot card real quick. Give me a sec. Yeah, it's for your healing. Definitely talking to you with the star card. You know what I mean? That's definitely an Aquarius card. Speaking to your soul or your soul sign. You know what I mean? Or your sun sign. Star is the sun. hmm And that's a vibe right there. She's a whole vibe right there. You know what I mean? And she's coming up out of the water, like renewed. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So your self care is very much needed at this time, or continue. All that fly shit. Well, thank you, Brett. Much love and gratitude to you as well, especially with that lineup. Mm, yeah, just keep it close to the chest. Get out of here. Yeah, a yellow magnetic star. Woof. Talk about letting it come to you. hmm Oh, yeah, we won't get one out of there. Yeah, and that one too. Again, it's more about maturity here. I think that is distractions. Don't let. That's like a social media card too. And I announced it today on IG when I did the spread earlier for it. It was almost in these lines, but I said, you know what? I'm falling back off of this bitch. I'm going over to YouTube for a little bit, and I'm gonna just take my time with this over here and let this evolve. You know what I mean? Learn all the ins and outs. See what I can do over here. Set some goals. You know what I'm saying? For the channel and whatnot. But that's all I'm gonna tell you. I can show you better than I can tell you. Yeah, but don't stress the little things right now. hmm Yeah. If you love who you are, this is a perfect time to really love who you are. This is why they're slowing you down. I know they slowed my black ass down about a week ago. Everything was out of whack for a hot minute. I'm so glad they started that yoga in the park back up. You know what I mean? Went right back out there and got my alignment. So that's what it is. And I haven't seen anybody else say they want any cards, so we can close it up for the night. But Brittany and anybody who comes along afterwards, appreciate you. Transformative Tarot in the Who-kah Lounge. On behalf of that and all of my buddies up here, y'all have a beautiful time. Peace.